Hey!
That's fine. Just go with it.
Accounts receivable.
Accounts receivable.
Yeah, you probably. Go. Good. Come on. Go. That would have been bad. All right.
Welcome back to the next episode of Team Whittaker. I'm Barbara Whittaker.
I'm Huey Whittaker.
And this week we're continuing in our series talking about legacy. This week we're talking about the letter G, which stands for give/give back. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with this concept, but what if I told you that really overflow comes from not how much you keep, but how much you give? It is really the key to giving yourself the opportunity to expand.
When I think about building wealth, one of the things that I've said and I've heard a lot as well is it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. So this is flipping it always back, and it's not necessarily about how much you keep, it's how much you give, which is a totally different element, and it's a principle. Giving is something that should be habitual, but it's going to really govern how you grow and what you grow into. And it's not all monetary. If you have time, additional time, some free time, give time. If you have a skill or something that you're really good at and passionate about, give that, or provide others the opportunity to learn from you in that.
So let's talk about some common misconceptions about giving. Sometimes people will say, I don't give because I don't make enough money. But really, if you think about it, if you can't give while you have $50, why would you give when you have $500? You really, like Huey said, you need to create a habit. And it really does force you to grow outside of yourself and kind of shift from a me focus to a we focus. So you should never look at the amount of what you have. You look at what you have, what you can give.
Another misconception is that giving is for someone else. Giving is for you. And giving is a mindset. So you have to make sure that you understand what you're giving to and why you're giving it. After that, though, it's off of you. You're giving because giving is going to essentially open up your world to receiving. And so again, you're not giving to receive. You're giving because it's the proper mindset. But it's really just the true order and flow of kingdom principles that we believe govern and rule the world.
Just to reiterate what Huey said earlier, let's even take money out of it. A lot of times the people that have a hard time giving money are the same people that have a hard time giving anything else. So we would challenge you to maybe look at taking money out of the equation. And like Huey said, time is something that you can give. Talent is something that you can give. Truth is something that you can give. Not being a gatekeeper of something that you've really expanded on. Huey had an example that we were talking about earlier. When we give the example of like what giving exposes you to, like from the employer's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we just think about giving is for the other person's misconception. It's not. It's for you. And if you think about it and think about the practicality of how that fits into like the workplace, for example. When you give away tasks, right, and you delegate, you now can open up yourself and your time to doing other things, and you all grow together, and the business grows, and you could probably make more, and more comes in. And then the other aspect of it is when you give your talents to other people and you try to build them up to essentially replace you, now you have 5 yous. So if you were really that great yourself, imagine how great you could be with 5 of you. And so you guys can grow into something all together, and you're bringing people along with you. But again, you're receiving more now just through the giving. And so some of those thought processes, I think people don't put into the giving category, but you should, because that's the realistic viewpoint of it. And again, it's a mindset. That's how you should be thinking about giving.
Yes, giving is not subtraction. It should be considered multiplication from any circumstance. So like from a Bible perspective, it says give and you should receive back 30, 60, 90, 100 fold, right? So you're never losing what you give away. It comes back to you in the same manner that you gave it. So that's important. So let's talk about some practical ways to give. First, we need to set the stage with you need to be consistent. So create something, a framework, whether it's giving money, time, talent, whatever that may be, in a consistent framework so that you can make sure you're making it habitual, like Huey said, and it's not something that's random and not thought about. You really need to be intentional about your giving.
Yeah, another step that really comes into several of these steps when we talk about legacy is identification. So identify either maybe places that you're talented in, you have a passion in, or organizations that maybe you have a passion to give time or even resources to. Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of organizations that we talk to that maybe you're even aware of that need help. They need good people. They need talent. They obviously need resources too. And it's not necessarily even you that's going to be giving the money or resources or funding. Maybe it's someone that you're connected to. So again, reach out, but identify first what and who those giving opportunities can go to or where it can come from if you're going to be, maybe giving a skill or teaching maybe a class on something.
We just want to recap that the importance of giving really fuels everything else in legacy. As you continue to give, as you go in that cycle through legacy, you should really see opportunities open up and expand for you as you increase your giving.
As you give, you're going to find opportunities to continue to give, but you're also going to get opportunities to receive. And you're going to grow in that. Your giving should also grow with you. And, one of the examples that we talked about before is opening up your hand. Right? When you open up your hand, obviously a clenched fist, you hold on to the money, you hold on to your resources, you hold on to your talent. Can't go anywhere, but no one can also impart anything into you. When you open that up, right, it's a free flow system. Give and receive, you're able to receive, but you're also able to give. So make sure that you have your hand and your heart and your mind open to giving, because it's the key to unlocking everything.
So one other thing I wanted to point out before we close for the week, you mentioned giving. What did you say? Something about legacy, wealth and legacy.
Yeah. Building legacy is not how much you keep, it's how much you give.
That's deep, y'all. So anyways, that's deep, y'all. So anyways,
building wealth is not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Building legacy is not about how much you keep, but about how much you give.
That's deep. That's why we're here, though. We're about building legacy. We're about impact. We're about influence. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to build legacy one step at a time. So we hope you chimed in. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like. We would like to get more engagement. And until the next episode, start strong, grow bold, be fruitful.
Give the comments. Give the likes.
Comments, please.
Give a recommendation to someone else. Adios.
See ya.